G'day, how you going? Ian Apples here, Acrylic Guru. Welcome to my video where I want to teach beginners and advanced beginners how to paint in art and just make you realise that you can do it. Here's the size of my canvas I'm going to use in this tutorial today. This is an exciting beginner's tutorial actually, this one. Quite different and very exciting to do. And you probably also see the colours going up the screen there. They're what I'm using. I'm using those colours because it's all I have. You can use cool or warm or neutral colours, whichever way you want to go with your colour palette, okay? So let's go. So I've got it masked to my board here and I've got my horizon line, which is the top of this tape. Now our planetary circle is just a tidbit under the horizon line, just so as we can get the bits and bobs here. Now what I've done, you can use a bit of paper. I've got cardboard for the tutorial's sake, and that's pretty much going to cover that size there. So get yourself a bit of cardboard, cut out the size you want. I'm using a 12 by 16 inch, so everything, so I want this about that far from the top of the canvas there and about that low under my horizon, okay? So to get me bits and bobs happening within that circle on the canvas, I've got my soft body craft white paint, and I want to add a bit of retarder with that so as I can blend some beautiful clouds in that body of paint when it's on the canvas. So I'll simply mix this with my putter on a brush. Now just remember, if you want my putter on a brush and the paint brushes I use to blend my clouds, simply message me on Facebook, links in the description below, or just pay for them through PayPal, links in the description below, $45 US. Now my circles there, I just want to get that bit pretty much prepped to do some blending. I need this on there so I can get my planetary shape here blended. So I've got it on there now. It's all in there the way I want. It's not too thick. Now I'll just simply stroke it left and right so it's nice and even. It's obviously gone a bit beyond the circle, which is fine. You don't want it right tight against the circle, just like that. Now what colour do you want yours? Do you want it warm or cool colours? Do you want it yellowy or orangey or whatever? I'm going for quinacridone red violet here. So this should change a lighter colour once I add it to that white paint up there. And what I would like to do, let's just say I'm going to work out the, let's say the left side, this side here. I'm just going to come around like so, go beyond your circle, and I want it to fade within that white. Now it's really fading within that white. Get it in there. I'm pulling it on now just to spread it within that white. So I've typically got that side a lot darker than this side. Now what I'm going to do is grab my blending brush and a kitchen towel, and then I want to blend this. So I'm on and off blending it just so I've got no white there, because I want to be able to create some clouds. So I'm coming into the lighter area first, stamping it, twisting, agitating it so I'm getting a bit of value there, blending. Okay, where are we? There we go there. I'm just kind of evening it up. Now I'm going to wipe that brush and then come into the thicker area and then start just getting the brushes out of that, brush strokes out of that down. See what's happening there? Look at that, beautiful and smooth. It's like it's been airbrushed. Come around here, wipe your brush, and now start grading that into that lighter colour as well, just so it looks bullshittingly great. Down here on the palette, I'm grabbing my hog bristle fan brush and some titanium white from the tube. Not that soft-bodied craft paint. I want this slightly thicker stuff out of my tube there. And work out where you want to start blending. So I want to get some clouds within here. I'm using the corner of my fan brush. I do not want a big white solid blob, otherwise when I'm blending it, it's going to be a big white mass, and I don't want a white mass. So if you can see what I'm doing here, I'm creating the cloud out of bits and bobs like so. And when I blend it, I'll just show you, you'll see what the guru's got going on in his mind. So there we go. I want to start with the top because I want the top of that quite pronounced. So I'm using the corner of my blending brush, stabbing it and dancing it, wiping what's on my brush, And now I want to create the turmoil within that quinacridone red violet, getting me clouds the way I want. Keep wiping it, because if you keep building up the paint on your brush and smearing it everywhere, you're not going to get a controlled smear. You'll be like grievily disappointed. So here we go. I'm creating some cloud there. Blend it the way you want. There we go. Okay, I'm happy with that. Twist this out there somewhere. Okay, so I've got some more paint and I just want to twist something like this here and maybe in front of that one. See how I've danced that one in front of that one? I've just thrown that brush into the water tub there, and I want to blend this before we lose our window of opportunity to blend within that retarded paint underneath. Okay, wipe my brush over here, and I want to grab turmoil. I want to leave the top of that a bit brighter than the one behind it. Now what I want to do is simply add some yumminess to that. Okay, so I want some brighter yumminess about here, and maybe something in the middle of that. And I want this crisping in front of that there, and maybe over this side here. And I want to sit all that down within the clouds there, but leaving the vibrancy of it there. Don't kill it all. There we go. Just for the art's sake, I might put something whispering up here as well, coming right off the orb, the planet, whatever it is. It's not a planet, it's just a planet shape full of clouds. Something there. Okay, it's done. Now just look at it, analyse it. If you feel you want to add some more darkness, as I'm going to show you right now, just pick up your darker colour there. And I'm looking, I might want something just bleeding here a little bit. Now do a little bit at a time depending how much of it's dried on you. I'm just going to grab another brush so as I don't have to stop and wash. Yeah, that's brush is not, mine's dried on me. So I'm going to use my rubbery glove there just to push that within the cloud body, because it's dried on me very quick. I've got the aircon on, I don't know if you can hear it droning there. This is pretty much like you might have seen spray paint artists. They put their colours down and they cover it up and do the other colours and then cover that up and scratch it. Similar processes are going to happen within this art. Now that's dry. I've got my cardboard cut out the same size that'll fit within there, that's going to sit about here, and I'm going to paint the sky. But so as I'm not holding this so I'm painting all the sky, I'm going to paint this area first so I can pull that away and finish the rest. And in doing that, I've got me Dioxazine purple and phthalo blue, because I want a dark spacey sky. I don't want it to be black. Black's just a bit too easy to use. So I'll mix these two together just to get my dark sky going there. Pulling it onto the brush, there we go. I'm going to put that on there where I want it. Somewhere about there. Now test the waters, that's okay. I want to pull away from this. I don't want to if I can help it, get any ugly bleeds from underneath this. So I'll go there and pull it away and then come around. That looks like a beautiful space coloured sky. I'm quite happy with that turnout of those two colours. Get to there and pull out from the cardboard. Don't brush it into the cardboard. And let's just go that way. Now there's so many ways you can probably do this, but this is just the way I thought about it. It's quite easy and effective. If you have your way or an easier way, by all means adopt the way it's easy for you. I can only show you how I would approach it, because that's all I can do. Okay, now I can take that template off just to finish the rest of the painting, as you can see. So I'll get this crisscrossed into the sky there now. So what I'm doing to finish the brush strokes off with this circle is I'm going like this around the planet there, or whatever you want to call it. Now remember, enjoy every part of the journey and every art you do, because that's where the fun is, in the journey of it all. It'll be interesting to see how this turns out myself, but I've had this idea running in my head for quite a while. I thought, well, today I'm going to do it. Let's see what we can do, show some other beginners out there what they can do. If you don't have dioxine or phthalo blue, just simply use a straight out black will do. I've got my Mongoose fan brush and I'm picking up some white titanium. It's a softer bristle than the hog bristle. This is a Mongoose, a little bit softer. And I don't know, over here I probably just want some space haze, so I'm just going to put this on just like so, making a bit of a messy, wiggly line like that. Grabbing a blending brush and just simply haze and blend that into your space sky. Trying to leave some of the vibrancy there. Have a look at what's happening. That's okay. There we go. Pretty easy. Just doing, I don't know, maybe another one here, just coming right off the painting, coming down one side and just straight down there, just something like that. And we're going to do the same with that. I suppose any science people or people that understand space and galaxies, they might know what this cloud's called. I don't really know what it's called, but it looks nice in a painting. It's very blue. I mean, I can go past it again and add some yumminess, but I don't want to overdo it. I'll get rid of those white bits. There we go. I'm just pulling out and teasing some, having fun. Might make it rain a bit from there. Pulling some of it downwards. I don't know, I'm just having fun. Everything's wet. I know you don't have lightning in space, but I feel like this can have some lightning within it. Now give me the thumbs up, give me a comment below, tell me where you're from, what your name is, just something simple. I want comments, I want everyone that follows me just to comment, just other than just watching the video. If you don't normally comment, just start commenting please, to support my channel. Now grabbing this here, make sure it's all dry, okay. Turn it upside down. Grab yourself some tape and double it back on itself, so you've made like a double-sided tape, just like that. Stick it on there. This is a low-tack tape I'm using here. Now I'm going to stick it on there, but before I do that, I don't want it sitting on there all day, every day. I'm going to give this a dry and mix up the paint for the stars. So for me stars, I'm just going to simply grab some titanium white. I'm grabbing the Free Flow. This is the same as my titanium, but it's actually a thinner density, a thinner texture. Now, my go-to way to do stars, everyone has their own ways, I can only show you my way. I'm just going to simply put some water next to that white paint, and I want to grab a flat, not a concaved toothbrush, a flat one, and I want to just simply get that wet first. Okay, now I want to start incorporating that white paint into a wet, damp puddle, so as hopefully I've got the paint evenly across the tips. There's not big thick glubs. Let me just have a test down here. Look at that beautiful flickable paint. Now I'll put that onto the canvas, and pretty much I had some marks there, so it's somewhere about here. That's just going to stop the stars hitting that planet, and I want to flick them head on because I don't want nothing going behind there. And I'll concentrate some around this cloud thing first, if I can, just like that. I hope the camera's picking this up. making it look nice and dense out there. And then the same on the other one. They're a bit fine, so I'm going to hopefully pull some of the thicker paint into my toothbrush and try and get some thicker ones out there now. And what I will do is actually get my paintbrush and paint some deliberate big ones. But this is working good. You don't want them in front of your planet because the planet is obviously that big. It's way closer than these stars. These stars are light years away. Now we can just concentrate where you might want to. And then we'll put some beautiful deliberate stars in our sky as well. Now I've got a detailed brush. I'm going to experiment and see which one will probably give me, yeah, that'll do. Get some of this paint inculated enough. Work out where you might want some big ones. So I want something right out there somewhere. That's nice. And these can be all different sizes as well. They do not have to be all the same size. So I want to concentrate some bigger ones within here. Any of you, if a keen eye might have noticed, I've changed brushes. I found that my dagger brush, the very pointed end, can just stamp on a one-off decent dot. You can probably have a shooting star within all this if you wish. Now, how to get a good dot on a pointy brush like this, I'll just tell you. Don't load it into your brush like that. You need to get it in there and just stamp it in there and pull it out to create that beautiful, simple dot. Different sizes. Okay, let's just pull this off easily.
Pull the tape off, Ian. I want to see the tape come off.
No worries. Okay, I'll just pull the tape off because some people like to see that bit, so let's just get that out the way. And now we're going to make sure this is dry so we can mask the top up to do the bottom. I didn't really want that there, or it's too late, but don't let that happen on your project. I'm grabbing my dagger brush. And before we do the bottom, we just want to get a skyline of a bit of a city there. So let's just put something here. Do anything you like here. Or you can have these as trees, or you can simply have them as space tentacles. Whatever you want them to be. I'm just going to do a city skyline here. Just a silhouette of a skyline. Now, even though this is a little part of the painting, put some pizzazz in it. Don't just be cheap about it. Put some charisma in this. Try and keep them in perspective of each other. Just finishing this off here. So you get to just make yours whatever you want it to be, something silhouetting in front of it.
Can you show us putting the masking tape on, Ian?
Okay, I'm just going to mask up the horizon line, so we'll get that pretty much to there, keeping it reasonably level. Now we're going to simply put some craft white onto the bottom half to get our water going. Now, so as we don't get a white line of paint against the tape when we've taped it off with our watercolour there, we want to paint this just to the tape, not on the actual tape itself. So I'm getting it along here. See the gap between this paint and the tape? That's what you want to do. Push it in there, left and right like a gentleman. Now I'll gently get it to the tape. That's it, it's not on the tape. The actual colour we put on this will hit the tape, okay? And that way we will not get a ridge of white when we pull the tape off. Now I've got dioxazine purple here. I want to get that on my putter on a brush and get our water painted in there. That white craft paint is just going to help it smooth along. Now I've got to be careful, this is still going to push some white paint to that line there. Right across. Get a bit more on there. And now I'm going to go on the tape. I've got to load up a bit more paint and get it on the tape. Hopefully it's not pushing any of that white under there. There we go. What I'll do is I'll stamp it on. Now you got your dioxazine purple on there. Just simply work out where you want your dark bits of water. I'm simply going to chisel it on the side of my brush there, and I want mainly the top there and here dark, and then the same on the other side over here, a bit darker there. So this is the best way to control your darker vibes. Get it on there, use both sides of the brush so when you stroke it, it'll work. And then obviously if you want some dark bits down the bottom. Now just simply waterfy that. Don't overdo it, just waterfy it like so. Beautiful, I'm loving that. Simple beginner's water. Now grabbing that toothbrush and that white paint we had before, I'm going to grab that again and add the shimmer on the surface of our water there. I want it mainly intensified here, then it can fade a bit. So I don't want to get none of this onto that planet if I can help it. So let's get that there and then create your, where are we? We can come across there a bit, and just create the intensity of that. And then a bit at the foreshore here as well. Just like that. Let me just kind of get that going. There we go. It can be nice and heavy there. And that's pretty much it.
Pull the tape off.
And then we can pull the tape off, hopefully without a white line of paint there. And yes, we've succeeded without a white ridge of white paint against our horizon line. Something simple. I've just got my script liner here. I've just teased it with a bit of dioxazine. Get it reasonably inky. And we'll sign the bottom here. And as always, I just want to thank my patrons who support my content. Head over there and become a patron if you want early access to my content before it's released to YouTube. And hit the join tab if you want to become a member. I want to thank my members who support me every month as well for the price of a cup of coffee. Okay, let's whack a frame on that and see how she looks. There we go, that's not too shabby. Some fantasy space odyssey scene, and I know you can do it. Well, that was a great, simple and an exciting exercise. Hope you enjoyed that. Tell your friends if you like what I'm doing, but if you don't, you tell everybody. Also have a look at this other video here of mine. Goodbye, good luck, and good on ya.